In other news, to switch paces a little bit, there was a big announcement made recently.
There was, man.
A huge announcement made about the Super Bowl halftime show.
Yes.
For those who do not know, that Jay-Z and Roc Nation have been helping curate the Super Bowl shows, halftime shows, since I believe 2021.
I believe so. Yeah.
I want to say it was the first time that they jumped into that role, and the next performer will be in 2025 will be Kendrick Lamar.
Yes.
Kendrick Lamar, man. What were your thoughts when you first saw that?
So I felt amazing, bro, because that's the type of artist like that deserves a halftime show. Like, let's just keep it honest. Like Kendrick Lamar, he arrived or he made an appearance during Dr. Dre's Super Bowl performance back in LA, right?
Yes, a dope appearance.
A super dope performance, and I watched that saying to myself years ago, he should be a headliner himself. Like, absolutely. I love what's going on, but, like, I see him being a headliner. So the fact that, a few years later, he's in that space, he's going to be at the front of his own halftime show. And it's just not just Kendrick. It's Kendrick and friends. So if we see something like we saw at the Pop-Out, we already know that it's going to be some magic on that stage, man. I think it is interesting, though. I will say I'm excited for this performance. I know it's going to be magic. It's clearly built on the momentum he has built this entire year. I don't think there's any bigger artist in hip-hop right now than Kendrick Lamar.
No.
I think he just made that clear. And I think the Super Bowl appearance, him agreeing to do it, is just proof of that. But I will say it is interesting with it being in New Orleans because I know a particular artist, I'm sure you'll get into it, was really vying for that spot. And truthfully, he deserves his own Super Bowl halftime show as well, especially in his city of origin. But I'll just say that.
Absolutely. And I would say the same, man. I was definitely excited. I think that Kendrick Lamar is what he's done, man, in music is just unprecedented. Like, we've never seen a rapper, a conscious rapper, which is really what Kendrick Lamar is.
In his roots.
He's a rapper's rapper. He's a conscious rapper. He if you strip down all of the hits, he is Mos Def. He is Talib Kweli. He is that, except has been able to make it mainstream.
100%.
And I think that we've never seen that in a Super Bowl halftime show. We've never seen that type of rapper get that shine at the Super Bowl. So I think this is big for hip hop. I think it's a major moment for an artist as respected within hip hop as a Kendrick Lamar to have that spot, and I think it really solidifies the global impact of hip hop. So I think that all of the stars have aligned for it to be Kendrick Lamar, especially with this year.
Absolutely.
I mean, it just makes too much sense. And I will also say that I think one of the big things that I think people aren't really talking about when it comes to Kendrick Lamar doing the halftime show, people have to realize that he just did a live show with Amazon that had, I would guess, millions of people watching it live at the same time between different platforms. I am sure that the NFL saw those numbers.
Had to.
And said, oh, you have this many people who want to watch you live. So I also think that probably played a role in it. So for me, the stars aligned for it to be Kendrick Lamar. I will say, as far as one of the big things that has come up is that a lot of people feel like Lil Wayne should be the person to do it since the Super Bowl is in Louisiana.
Yeah.
And to me, what I think that is I think it's deeper than Lil Wayne. I think that the South in general has been downplayed within hip hop.
Undermined, for sure.
Undermined, downplayed, and especially if you take Atlanta off the table. When you talk about Louisiana, when you talk about Mississippi, when you talk about Alabama, when you talk about Houston, all of them have been downplayed within hip-hop and never have gotten their credit or their just due. So I can 100% understand and respect that people are coming out and saying, no, we think Lil Wayne deserves to be there because of his impact and with it being in Louisiana. And I think it's a bigger conversation than just Lil Wayne. I will also say that I think Lil Wayne should have done it 6 years ago. 7 years ago, maybe. I think that Lil Wayne could have done a halftime show 6, 7, 8 years ago. But I will say, right now, it makes sense for Kendrick Lamar to be there.
It just does.
Lil Wayne hasn't put out an album in 4 or 5 years, I would say.
Since Funeral, like a first full length, like this is
full-length
an album
album
type of release, 2020, yeah.
Absolutely, and that wasn't the biggest album. So when you're talking about current, and I have to add this, and I hate to add this because I'm somebody who is definitely advocates for Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne's commercial songs that have been his biggest songs, the clean versions of them, half the words are going to be gone. Be very clear. Lollipop,
Classic,
while it's a classic, you know what I mean? His material for the Super Bowl, a milli, you know what I mean? Is it going to go crazy? Yes, but is he going to have to blank out half the song? You got to make a whole another rendition, which I think Lil Wayne is capable of doing, which a lot of rappers would do in those cases. They'll just, replace those words with other words in those type of cases, which Lil Wayne is one of the greatest rappers ever, so he can do it. But I think that right now it just makes more sense. Take Louisiana out of it, it makes sense. But I will say I respect how different artists are riding for Lil Wayne.
Yeah, no, I love that because the truth is, like I said, there's very few artists within rap that I feel deserve their own Super Bowl halftime show. Lil Wayne is that. He's proved that. His catalog is almost unmatched in rap. Like when you talk about from the late 90s when he was with what was the group name? Wow, I can't believe
Cash Money Millionaires or Hot Boys.
Hot Boys, right? It's from the Hot Boys to now. Like he has records that span decades that really made statements.
Back that thing up at the Super Bowl was going crazy.
It's going crazy. Like he has so many songs that is going wild. This man created a statement or a phrase we all say, bling bling. You know what I'm saying? Like
Absolutely.
So he's already established firm ground, obviously, in hip-hop and music history, so I think he's capable of putting on an amazing show. I saw him at Roots Picnic where it was Lil Wayne and friends. Like, that was the setup. It was P.J. Morton, another New Orleans legend.
Yep.
It was Lloyd, who I love as an R&B vocalist.
Who does not get the credit he deserves.
He is definitely underrated.
That's another conversation we have to have.
So I saw them together with, like, a band backing them up, and it was incredible.
Yeah.
With that being said, though, I think, like you said, all the stars align for this to be Kendrick's moment. And while I would love to see Lil Wayne in New Orleans, and in fact, him and Kendrick have a song together, Mona Lisa.
Absolutely. I was thinking
it's
the same
Kendrick's
thing.
moment.
And to me, I think there's a couple things at play here. And I 100% agree with what you said. I think that Lil Wayne, Mrs. Officer, when you're talking about how many hits Lil Wayne has, and that's not even including the features. We haven't even gotten into his features that he can perform. I think that it like I said, I think Lil Wayne should have done it 6-7 years ago. I think that at that point would have been made the most sense.
I have a perfect moment he could have did it. You know, like how we waited for 5-6 years for the Carter 5. I think if he would have dropped it, then come out that following Super Bowl, I think that would have been a crazy moment.
That would have been a perfect moment. Or he should have done it. Let me talk about one of the worst Super Bowl performances.
Okay.
When y'all brought out J-Lo and Shakira.
Yeah, that was crazy, bro. That was crazy.
Trash, let me tell you.
I get what that does for, you know what I mean, my Hispanic folks, my Latinx folks, but that was not it, bro.
Bro.
Sorry, it wasn't.
Bro, I never heard nobody say, man, we want to hear J-Lo.
Sing? Nah. Actually? Nah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no. So to me, that one, that was what, 2020? 2019, 2020? That is when Lil Wayne should have been doing it.
Lil Wayne could have did that.
And like I said, I don't think it's too late for him to do it. I think he should drop, if he drops the next Carter album, if it has some hits on, I think it still would allow for him to do it. But I think there's another big issue when you talk about the possibility of him coming out and performing with Kendrick Lamar.
I don't like that.
You can't,
I don't think he should.
I wouldn't mind it but the problem with it is we're not considering the Drake situation.
Oh yeah.
You see, and that still is in play. Still have, Lil Wayne being the artist who discovered Drake. Kendrick Lamar is gonna come out. He's probably gonna do Not Like Us at some point.
Yeah.
The optics of what that looks like is probably something that Lil Wayne wouldn't agree to do anyway.
Yeah.
Just based on his affiliation with Young Money, Cash Money, that whole camp. So, yeah, man, I think I get people's critique, and like I said, I'm somebody who has always been a huge advocate for Southern rap, but just always have been an advocate for it because I know how much it gets downplayed.
Yeah,
and I know that at one point, New York just thought that New York was the only music that mattered, and then eventually, Atlanta barged in the door and made people respect them, but there's other areas of the South that haven't gotten respected in that same way. So I understand, and like I said, I like seeing the way. And most of the people who've come out and who have said that Lil Wayne should have had this opportunity, I don't really hear any of them discrediting Kendrick Lamar while doing so. I haven't heard anybody say Kendrick Lamar trash, it should be Lil Wayne. Like, I haven't heard any of the celebrities who have came out and advocated, whether it's Nicki Minaj, whether it's Juvenile, any of them who have come out.
I've actually heard the reverse, and that's also a problem I have, is people bringing up potentially like Lil Wayne's professionalism or lack thereof, which is something that I've never even heard rumblings of.
I've seen Lil Wayne perform live, and this was in my radio. This is when I was interning at iHeartRadio in Chicago. It was he performed at Summer Jam in Chicago, and when I say one of the greatest rap performances I've seen, amazing, and he knows his audience, which is one thing I like about Lil Wayne when he performs. He performed in Chicago. He knew that we ain't want to hear Lollipop. He went there and was like, I'm performing all of the mixtape stuff that I know y'all want to hear. I'm performing John. I'm performing all the hard verses that I've spit. And that's really what he did for most of his performance. And it was amazing. So, I don't know. I've never heard that about Lil Wayne not being professional or he's not one of those artists who I've heard people go to his concerts and leave not fulfilled. So I don't know where that
saying that he's late or anything. I've seen that with other artists who you would never imagine that from, but not Wayne. So the fact that people are bringing that up and comparing potentially what he's like versus Kendrick, or what America's perception of someone like a Kendrick versus a Lil Wayne is, all of a sudden, like, I just think that's kind of tasteless. Lil Wayne would be a great, performer on this end, but, it's Kendrick's moment. And I think Wayne understands that. Although, like, it's hard for someone to, like, come to that conclusion when it's in your backyard, it's in your city. But, like, I don't think Lil Wayne, if we sat him down, had a lot to tell you, if we asked, you feel a way about Kendrick Lamar? Like, do you feel he's worthy of a Super Bowl halftime show? I don't think he would say no.
I don't think anybody who is an actual hip-hop fan can say that about Kendrick
I don't think so.
Kendrick Lamar, he's more than earned his spot.
Absolutely.
So and like I said, I'm looking forward to the performance. Either way, I would have been excited about it. Whether they had rolled it out being Kendrick or rolled it out being Lil Wayne, I don't think you could lose. But I also don't. Lil Wayne's not. People are talking like this is like Lil Wayne can't possibly do it next year or the year after that. You know what I mean? So I think it'll make more sense if Lil Wayne puts out an album that's critically acclaimed beforehand. You know what I mean? I think it'll be a more buzz for it. It'll excite people even more. So Lil Wayne's a legend, so he got enough hits to perform for hours on end. But yeah, man, I'm looking forward to the halftime show. And I think that what Kendrick does, even with full stage shows, I think is going to be epic.
He's different, bro. Like, I've seen him perform like a number of times.
I've never seen him live, man.
He's amazing live. He's one of my favorite, I would say, artists like that's in his lane, I would say. Like, to hear somebody rap for like 5 straight minutes without really taking any breathers or having the audience like recite the lyrics instead of him, like, to see that level of performance, breath control, like all the visual elements. He's really one-on-one when it comes to that. I still say Travis Scott is my favorite live performer, period. But when it comes to rap specific, like especially a more traditional rap artist, I would say Kendrick is probably at the top of my list.
Nice.
As far as live performances go. But
he's on the list of ones I need to see. So for this next album, man, if he goes on tour, I need to try to make my way there.
It's
man.
a must for me.
It's gonna sell out in 30 seconds, but I'm gonna be on the internet trying to get a ticket.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
And speaking of that too, I know we have another TDE artist, what's his name, isn't on TDE anymore, but he's definitely from that family tree, right? Doechii. Like,